Good morning, guys. First official day in Copenhagen. Just woke up, put on my clothes, my makeup, and ooh, it was cold. It was just hailing a minute ago. So I'm gonna go on the walking tour, the free walking tour the hostel's doing in a few minutes. But before then, I'm gonna go and grab like a pastry, a Danish, and some tea. All right, so got some tea and a pastry, and got about 5 minutes before the tour starts. And it just started raining. Luckily, my house is right around the corner because I don't feel like pulling out my big umbrella. So go in, eat this, and then start the walking tour. They also informed me that in Denmark they don't really eat pastries for breakfast. They're like, we more eat like dark bread. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, I'm still getting a pastry. Because I was like, wait, is this like a pastry for breakfast? She's like, we don't, but lots of people, other people do. And I was like, okay then. I don't really know what kind of pastry this is. They told me it had like cheese and sugar in it. So, try it. Good. I like a typical croissant. But just some more sugar and cheese. Okay, so walking tour is about to start, but we have like a few minutes to go. So they're like, just come in City Hall and look around and get warm. So in City Hall right now, the Danish flag right there. Nice big open. Looks like there's like an art exhibit or exhibition of stuff. Immigration website.
My name is James, and I'm going to be your tour guide for the next anywhere between 2.5 to 3 hours as we take a little walk in that direction there through the heart of what was medieval Copenhagen city center. Right now behind me is Copenhagen City Hall, and this is the 5th city hall that Copenhagen has had. We've gone through quite a few. Most of them meeting with quite warm and smoky sort of ends. Fire is a bit of a theme that's going to kind of run through our tour today. You're probably going to get quite sick of me talking about fire. If at any time I stop in front of a significant location and ask you what you think might have happened to it, if you shout out nice and loud, "It burned down!" 9 times out of 10 you're going to be correct. He was a keen home brewer, but he was also a keen biologist, and he was experimenting with yeast. And he ended up developing a strain of yeast through his experiments that, when it was used in the propagating method of brewing alcohol, gave the same result every single time. And like I said, this was brand new, this was revolutionary, and his beer became very, very popular very, very quickly. He needed a name for his brewery, of course, so he decided he was going to name it after his newborn son. His newborn son was called Carl. And the Danes can be quite optimistic when it comes to naming things, so he used the old Danish word for mountain on that small hill, which was Berg. He called the brewery Carl's Mountain, he called it Carlsberg. He started on a very eye-catching logo for his bottles. He read that it stood for prosperity and good fortune, and it symbolized a sort of vocational life force. So he slapped it on all his products. And if we look very, very closely, we can see that logo in the bottom right and left corner with this crack above the gate here.
Oh!
What do we see?
Not too swastika.
Very, very pretty streets. They've been used in a lot of TV shows and films, adverts, things like that. That was very successful. They were walking hand in hand down the street at the start of the film. Very, very romantic it was. It wasn't too accurate, though if it was more accurate, they'd have probably been ankle deep in their own and someone else's waste. Because sewage was not really a system they got their heads around down here for quite a while. If you want to say goodbye, that's exactly twice as difficult, because you say, hi, hi. Right? It's not so bad. We know how to say thank you. We would say, important basics like 1, 2, 3. If you want to ask for a beer, you would ask for an un. That's an O with a line through it. L, very simple word, shares the same word root with ale. We say un. And if you want to get the pronunciation exactly right, you have to imagine you've already had about 12 and you go un. That's how you get the Danish vowel going on there. And of course, if you have a beer in your hand, we want to say cheers. How do we say cheers? We say skål. You have to say it like a Viking, like skål.
Skål. So this right here is the oldest street in Copenhagen. I think he said like around the 1700s. And I'm still cold because oh, there are the bells. You can hear them. Can't see it, but there are the bells. Ring every 15 minutes. Look at the beautiful horse. Finally come out, so it's a little bit warmer, and I put my umbrella away because it's no longer hailing and raining, but I seem to have forgotten my sunglasses because I cannot find them anywhere in my bag. It's getting a little sunny. I need to see about buying another pair of sunglasses, which is fine. Like, if I was to forget something, sunglasses is not a horrible thing to forget because you can buy sunglasses pretty much anywhere. So yeah, just on the walking tour right now, going to the palace, walking around again, getting some history about Copenhagen in Denmark, meeting some cool people on this tour. So it's fun.
And Christian, you have this fantastic imagination. You're always telling us these amazing stories. You're creating these wonderful tales in your head. You need to go back to school, finish off your education, find out a way of getting what's going on in that brain of yours down on the page in front of you. And that's exactly what he did. And he started writing those tales very fast. All those tales we now know today, like the Little Mermaid, the Snow Queen, the Princess and the Pea, the Ugly Duckling, all those tales, all starting with that young man on the top floor of this building right here, trying to finish his education. All right, so that's Hans Christian Andersen.
The Royal Theatre right here, where Hans Christian Andersen tried out to be a ballerina, was horrible. Tried out to be an actor, was horrible. And tried out to be a opera singer, and actually was not too bad at that. But then his voice dropped and could no longer do opera, and that's when he started writing. Apparently he had really bad dyslexia, so it was a bit difficult for him. It's the famous Harbor Street in Copenhagen with all the cute little houses. Oh, it's so cute. That's what I'm here for. I'd love to see this on a sunny day though.
What? You don't like the weather today? It's amazing.
Oh, it's fabulous. Just getting rained on and hailed.
Nyhavn means the new harbor. So up there we had Kongens Nytorv, the new square. That was somewhere where the king, this was Christian IV, where he imagined he would have a bit of a marketplace for people to buy, sell, trade goods. So now we've got a lot of boats coming and going. And where you get a lot of boats, you usually get a lot of sailors. Where you have a lot of sailors, you usually have a lot of drinking. And where you have a lot of drunk sailors, you usually have a lot of partying and bad behavior and debauchery and cavorting with those, shall we say, ladies of the night. As such, this whole area here became very much the sort of seedy underbelly of the city of Copenhagen, and was kind of avoided by the rest of the population and sort of left to its own devices. Any one of those buildings over there was either a bar, a tattoo parlor, or a brothel. And in fact, most were all three at the same time. So you can imagine the fun that was to be had down here. Up until about midway through the 1900s, when the Copenhageners decided they wanted to take this place back. And so a huge project was undertaken to clean this area up. All those businesses over there were kicked out and all the buildings were refurbished. The whole area was kind of gentrified and straightened out. And it maintains its position as a very popular place to hang out today. You can see over there on the far side, chairs and tables all the way down. When the weather's a little brighter and a little more reliable, you see people eating and drinking down there absolutely all hours of the day. Very, very popular it is too.
The Royal Palace of Copenhagen.
I think my favorite bit of my favorite trivia about the Queen here is that she was single-handedly responsible for translating The Lord of the Rings when it arrived in Denmark back in the 70s. She translated every single word from English into Danish so that her people could read that book. Not only did she translate the first edition, she actually illustrated it as well. So she's very cool like that, like I say, very creative. And as such, she's very, very popular with her people. Denmark considers itself kind of lefty and socialist, but the approval rating for the monarchy is somewhere up over 85%, something like that. So very, very popular she is too. Much less popular would be her husband. This is the royal consort, Prince Henrik, the Danes call him. His original name is Henri. He is a French aristocrat. He is a big fat, grumpy French aristocrat. Nobody likes him around here. Like I say, French guy. Been married to the Queen for 50 years and never learned a word of Danish. Can't speak the language. She speaks French to him on a daily basis, so that really annoys the Danish people. And he also still thinks that everyone should be drinking wine instead of beer, which really annoys the Danish people. So him not so much, but the Queen who lives in here, very popular she is. And this would be, like I say, home to the heir to the throne of Denmark, the Crown Prince. That took him to Sydney in the year 2000. And he was enjoying the fact that over there nobody knew who he was. He met eyes with a beautiful young Australian lady called Mary, and they got on great and they had a few dates. It was all going swimmingly for them. She invited him back to the island state of Tasmania where her family lived, and he says, yeah, sure, that sounds great. Just gotta call and ask my mummy first. And she must have pulled a funny face. He decided it was time to explain to her, yes, my mother is the Queen of Denmark. And soon I'm going to be the King of Denmark. And if this is all going the way I hope it's going, you can come and be my queen. And yeah, she clearly liked the idea. It didn't take her long to pack her bags up. She moved here to the royal apartments and started firing out royal babies. Like I said, they're on 4 now and they show no signs of slowing down.
Heading over to the Little Mermaid statue, which our tour guide says is the second most disappointing statue in Europe. But come all the way out here, I'm gonna see it. It's the Little Mermaid statue with all these guys, which I don't know what they are exactly. Alright, well, that was the Little Mermaid statue, guys.
Wow.
Not quite as big as I thought it was gonna be, a little smaller, but it was still really cool, and I can, you know, check that off my bucket list. So now, gonna get food and beer because we're starving. And these are some friends I met at my hostel. Hello. Hi guys. Fiona, Bridget, and Katie. Some lovely girls I met in my hostel this morning who came in drunkenly last night.
Yeah.
What's up?
Very crying. Very drunk.
And now we're gonna go get more drunk. Woo! And then go to Christiania and maybe.
I'm sober right now. I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. All right, so my camera battery died. I just switched out for another one, and now we're finally getting food because oh my god, I'm starving. And I'm in this indoor food place. It's called Copenhagen Street Food. It's the place I'm most excited to come for food in Copenhagen. And so it's like all these indoor stalls of food. So much food. Oh man, I don't know what I want. Alright, so for lunch I got a smoked salmon, butchering the pronunciation of that, and a potato, and a Pilsner beer. So let me try the salmon one.
Feta cheese. I don't even know, sweet potato. Looks good. Like everything that in the description thing is pretty good.
This is really good. So I'm really enjoying my food. I think I like the potato one better than the salmon. The potato's really good. Just chilling, finally having a break since we've been walking for the past 4 or 5 hours. So it's nice to just like have a break and chill for a minute. Found Christiania. I'm not going to be able to film inside, so let me get some of the hippiness on the outside.
Just in case you catch the drug dealer.
So just went and checked out Christiania, which is like a little hippie commune. They don't like you filming or taking pictures or running because it causes panic. I did a little bit because like there weren't like people around, but it was cool. Like, you know, just people being free there. All the weed you could ever want. And now we're just walking back to the hostel, seeing all the. I'm so clumsy. I just almost tripped, guys. Seeing all the beautiful architecture. It's just so pretty. Just like walking around here. It's really nice, and it's getting cold as shit again because apparently that's Copenhagen for you. So yeah, just gonna head back about getting some food. No. we'll see. Literally everywhere you go is like amazing architecture and streets. It's nothing like America. And that building right there, that's like 3 dragons tips going up, spiraling together. It's so much prettier than I thought it was gonna be, guys. Like, beautiful. This wasn't even originally really on my list, or my list of top places, but because of cheap flights, came here. So happy I did.